Imagine living in a town where everyone knows each other, where life seems peaceful and uneventful, until one day, the river reveals a chilling secret. What would you do if the body of a young girl washed ashore, and she had no face? Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just a story. It's a nightmare that became all too real for a small town in Oklahoma. Our story takes place in Wara, a quiet little town in southern Oklahoma, with just 2,000 residents. It's the kind of place where nothing much happens, where people leave their doors unlocked and everyone waves hello. But all that changed in the fall of 1996. The Gail family lived in Wara, mom, dad, 3 boys, and their only daughter, Heather. Heather was a sophomore in high school, a cheerleader, and known for her beauty and kindness. But like any teenager, she had a rebellious streak, always looking for adventure and a good time. At 16, Heather was in the thick of her rebellious phase, pushing boundaries like any teenager would. On the night of October 2nd, 1996, an argument broke out between Heather and her mom, Gail. The reason? A $300 phone bill Heather had racked up chatting with friends. With her dad, Dwayne, unable to work after a severe injury, money was tight. Gail was furious, and Heather went to bed angry, barely saying goodnight to her parents. The next morning, Heather didn't come down for breakfast. Gail assumed it was just the usual teenage sulking after a fight. But as the hours passed, worry set in. When she checked Heather's room, it was empty. Heather had vanished. Gail and Dwayne called all of Heather's friends, but no one had seen her. This wasn't like Heather. She wasn't the type to just disappear. Panicked, they rushed to the sheriff's office, desperate for help. But the sheriff wasn't so worried. He suggested Heather had probably run away, like teenagers do after a fight with their parents. But Gail and Dwayne knew better. This wasn't a runaway case. This was something much darker. Determined to find their daughter, they took matters into their own hands. They tracked down Heather's friends, starting with Randy Wood, the high school football captain and Heather's ex-boyfriend. Something about Randy's behavior didn't sit right with Gail. He seemed too calm, too rehearsed. Her suspicion didn't end there. She reached out to Josh Bagwell, Heather's new boyfriend. But when she called, Josh's grandmother answered, claiming Josh was asleep after a late-night party. Gail's gut told her something was wrong. Despite their relentless efforts, Gail and Dwayne found no trace of Heather. As hours turned into days, the police finally joined the search. But hope was fading fast. Then, near the Texas border, the police made a gruesome discovery. A body floating in the river, face down and half submerged in muddy water. The body had been hidden, buried under dirt. It was clear someone wanted it to stay hidden. When the divers pulled the body ashore, they were met with a horrifying sight. The victim had been shot 9 times, including a point-blank shot to the back of the head. The face was so disfigured it was unrecognizable. Heather's parents were called in, and their worst fears were confirmed. The only way to identify their daughter was through an engraved ring she always wore, a gift from Gail. The forensic team confirmed Heather's identity through her dental records, the braces she could never remove. The news of Heather's death sent shockwaves through Wara. Randy, who had been at a football game the day Heather's body was found, couldn't hide his distress. But it wasn't just grief he was hiding. It was a terrible secret. The investigation quickly turned its focus on Randy and his circle. This wasn't just a tragic accident. It was a cold-blooded murder involving 3 teenagers: Randy, Josh, and a troubled boy named Curtis Gamble. Curtis had a criminal past, and it didn't take long for him to crack under pressure. He confessed everything, dragging Randy and Josh down with him. As the horrifying details emerged, the truth was almost too much to bear. Heather's night of teenage rebellion had led her to a party with Randy, Josh, and Curtis. But the night took a dark turn when Curtis, fueled by alcohol and sinister intent, tried to assault Heather. When she fought back, he decided she had to be silenced forever. The boys took Heather to a bridge, and in a brutal, heartless act, Curtis shot her, ensuring she would never tell her story. But the river eventually revealed the truth, and the town of Wara would never be the same. This story is a haunting reminder of how quickly life can turn from the ordinary to the unimaginable. Sometimes, the quietest places hide the darkest secrets. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as chilling as we did, please like, share, and subscribe for more true crime content. Stay safe and remember, sometimes the most peaceful places have the most terrifying secrets.